You spend hours on the treadmill, track every single calorie, and cut all your favorite foods. But a few months later, you're right back where you started. Statistically, 95% of long-term diets fail. This chart shows what happens inside your body when you restrict your food. As your caloric intake drops, your body interprets weight loss as starvation. In response, it spikes your hunger hormones, like ghrelin, to overpower your willpower and force you to eat to survive. This next chart compares national obesity rates. While the US struggles with rising numbers, Japan maintains a remarkable statistical anomaly, an obesity rate of just 4.5%. That is almost 10 times lower than the United States. You might assume this comes from pristine, perfect health habits, but Japanese people eat carbohydrates like rice and noodles daily. Only 3% of the population has a gym membership. And a large portion of the adult male population maintains high smoking rates. Their incredibly low obesity rate is not built on superhuman willpower. It is the result of environmental design. When a society is structured so that the healthiest choice is simply the easiest default option, staying lean requires almost zero active effort. In Japan, food education starts early. School lunches are planned by nutritionists, made fresh daily, and eaten together in class. Children grow up consistently eating real vegetables, rice, and fish, establishing whole foods as their baseline for what a normal meal should taste like. Contrast that with the typical American school lunch model, which is often run by profit-driven companies relying on tater tots and chocolate milk. This factory-style diet actively trains a developing brain to crave high-sugar, highly processed items from a young age. As adults, Japanese citizens live in an environment flooded with fast, accessible food. Japan actually has 15 times more convenience stores than the US. Sheer availability isn't the problem. The difference is what sits on the shelves. Instead of burgers and burritos, a quick meal for a few dollars means grabbing a fresh rice bowl with grilled fish, miso soup, or tofu. This is known in psychology as choice architecture. When society makes high-quality nutrition the most frictionless option around you, you don't have to fight cravings. You simply grab what's convenient. Japanese culture values moderation, anchored by a traditional saying, hara hachibu. It means you eat only until you are 80% full, stopping right before you feel entirely stuffed. To achieve this without feeling deprived, they leverage a psychological concept called unit bias. Our brains naturally feel satisfied when we finish a specific visual unit, like clearing a plate, regardless of how many actual calories were on it. Traditional Japanese meals use this bias to their advantage. A single dinner is split across many physically smaller, varied dishes. You get rice, soup, fish, and vegetables separately. Your brain sees a visually complex feast and registers high satisfaction, even though the total volume of food is small. This diagram illustrates a biological reality. Once you eat, it takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to send a signal of fullness to your brain. If you eat quickly, you can consume hundreds of excess calories before your brain ever realizes you're full. Eating with chopsticks naturally forces you to slow down. By picking up one small piece of food at a time, you build mechanical speed bumps into your meal, giving your brain the 20 minutes it needs to catch up with your stomach. By mechanically altering the speed of consumption and using visual presentation to trick your unit bias, you feel completely full on far fewer calories, completely bypassing the mental strain of restriction. The structure of a Japanese day also plays a huge role. Most people eat 3 main meals at highly consistent times. When you maintain a rigid, predictable eating schedule, your endocrine system follows suit, stabilizing your hunger hormones. If your schedule is chaotic, your body's hormonal rhythm gets confused. That instability is exactly what triggers random, intense cravings and late-night emotional binging. This graph compares energy burn. The left shows a short, intense spike from a gym session. The right is a continuous lower line called NEAT. By slowly accumulating all day, this constant gentle motion equals or exceeds the calories burned at the gym. Japanese urban design seamlessly builds NEAT into daily life. With less reliance on cars, citizens are constantly walking to train stations, climbing stairs, and cycling to work. When you sync your meals with biological rhythms and rely on your environment to force daily movement, your health is automated. The need for daily willpower vanishes. Finally, there is a cultural mindfulness applied to eating itself. In Japan, meals are largely treated as moments of singular respect. There is little eating on the go, scrolling on phones, or heavy multitasking. This absolute focus removes distractions and forces you to actually pay attention to the taste and texture of your food. It reconnects you with your body's natural satiety signals, preventing mindless overconsumption. You could implement these mechanics into your own life. Start by swapping just one daily sugary item for green tea. If you give it time, your brain will neuroplastically retrain its sweetness threshold, and you will naturally stop craving excessive sugar. Next, artificially trigger your own unit bias. Permanently swap your large dinner plates for physically smaller ones. And if you don't use chopsticks, try putting your fork down completely between each bite. Sustainable weight management isn't a moral battle against your own biology. When you stop fighting your cravings and instead focus on the quiet, intentional design of your daily environment, staying slim simply becomes a byproduct of how you live.